Do you think Miro came to AEW for $500 a shot?
Oh, no. I'm sure he's getting a very nice contract.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Then why treat him like a $500 a shot indie guy on a debut? This guy's big debut was 20 minutes of he came out looking like a beast, and by the time the match was over, he was on their level. They had all lowered him to their level. And the match, for those of you who haven't watched yet, until we describe it so that you can see what was done wrong, was Kip Sabian and the newest Bulgarian brute in AEW, Miro, with their sidekick, Penelope Ford, against the fellas that unfortunately weren't allowed to call themselves what they wanted to call themselves. And they actually never were going to do that to begin with. But since they don't have a team name, I do have a couple of new ones.
No. We can't do this again. We can't.
I think we can. I think we can, because I don't know whether Kip Sabian and Miro wrestled the Nobody Donnas or whether they were wrestling the Slovenly Bodies.
Ah, that's interesting.
It's Jelly and Sonny over here against Kip Sabian. And here's another thing. Every week they get the hot start, right? They start with their biggest stars in the fucking ring. No entrances, no introductions, no whatever the fuck. Nowhere, just jump into action. 8 guys, let's fight, hit the floor. This week, Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford get an entrance and a promo to introduce this fucking big goof. They really genuinely, somebody behind this production thought that they were actually giving this guy a big introduction using him in this fashion. And I'm sure since he's only been in the WWE system that he's a complete fucking novice when it comes to getting himself over. So he probably thought that they were doing him some favors here with this big debut. He comes out, at least he's wearing his shirt, not Mickey and Minnie's. And he came out like a fucking badass, right? But then you have to have the match with these people. And Sabian starts with Sonny Kiss. Between the two of them, 362 pounds, but not 1 ounce of testosterone. And they did their normal cheerleading routine where Sonny ended up with a fucking triple fucking handspring across the ropes and a slap in the face. Then Jelly tried. At one point, did you see Jelly was going to tag Sonny to do some attempt at a double team, and Sonny stepped into the ring first and then tagged Jelly? Like he got completely lost. It's a contest between Jelly and Sonny to see which one of the two of them can make the least contact on any of their strikes. Early in the match, Miro got in, did 2 moves, and tagged out. I wrote, he's smart. Stay out of this as much as possible. But that came to an end very quickly. There was a part where Kip Sabian tags Miro, and then Sabian shoots Sonny Kiss off and drop toe holds Sonny Kiss flat in front of Miro, who was standing there looking at him, and then picked him up. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw every bit of this match.
Somebody was supposed to be doing something else. Miro threw Sonny around and toyed with him. Sonny and Jelly, did you see the false tag they did where they'd been beating Sonny up and finally he tags Jelly and Jelly comes in, but the Ref Aubrey didn't see it? You saw that part, right?
Oh, yeah.
Would you like me to explain to the fans as well as the wrestlers involved in the match why they fucked that up completely and exactly how?
You are the tag team expert?
All right, when you're doing a false tag, which is what it's called, a false tag is when the babyface has been getting the heat put on him, but finally he manages to get the tag that he's been fighting for, and he touches his partner's hand, but the referee is momentarily distracted, hopefully by a manager or something, very briefly, just a turn of a head, doesn't see the tag, turns back around, sees the illegal guy coming in as a house of fire, as they say, and blocks him off so that then the fucking heels swarm like bees on the fucking babyface that has been getting the heat put on him and hurt him even worse, while the referee's attention is diverted putting the babyface that made the tag but she didn't see out of the ring. To do this, what Sonny did was he went over and he did whatever to get away from the heel, and he tagged Jelly and then rolled into the babyface corner and laid there and sold. And Jelly came in with his fucking fists and the heels all backed up. And then the referee turns around and sees Jelly there and is supposed to put Jelly out. Well, here's the thing. The referee also turned around and saw Sonny laying in their corner. There is no way that didn't make a tag, because Jelly would have had to walk past Sonny to get where he was standing. So the referee would instantly see that they had to have made a tag to be where they are and would have allowed it. The heels, when Sonny created the opening and made that tag, should have immediately grabbed Sonny and jerked him back into the middle of the ring, or bumped him away, or thrown him over the shoulder and brought him back, or take a rolling bump, in some way get away from the babyface corner. So that way, when the referee turns right around from the momentary distraction, she sees Jelly coming into the ring from the corner, and Sonny is all the way on the opposite side of the ring. That's what makes the false tag make sense when the fans are watching it. This didn't make sense because it was fucked up. It looked stupid. It buried Ref Aubrey. I then wrote at that point that no main event talent in any company in the recorded history of wrestling has had his television debut a match where he's doing false tag spots in a 20-minute competitive match with preliminary, at best, talent. This contrived bullshit also that Sonny Kiss does, where he has to move somehow like a girl would before he does any of his moves, is fucking old already. And since his work frankly sucks pond water, in my opinion, he ought to concentrate. I didn't say anything else. It sucks pond water. He ought to concentrate on his work first, because he's got to do a split and slap a guy in the face, or do some awkward, contrived, effeminate movement and then do a move, and the guy's supposed to sit there and watch it and sell it, or whatever the fuck. Is this inclusive wrestling or pretend wrestling? The wrestling is the first part. If you can't do that right, don't do the fucking gimmick shit. It's getting old quick. Sonny at one point made a tag to Jelly, who came in with a clothesline that Sabian had to fall down on purpose for, because I don't know if it would have batted a balloon across a windy room. Miro tried to do a spot with Jelly and got dumped over the top rope and apparently hurt his ankle. He wasn't selling it in the closing moments of the match, but this had to be legitimate because he was selling it at a point where he shouldn't have been selling anything. He was selling it more realistically than he sold anything else in the match, and he actually had to wave fucking Sabian on at one point to do the spot they had planned, because Sabian didn't know whether he was going to be able to do it or not, which was Miro backdropping. He backdropped Jelly over the rail out into the arena first, and then backdropped his own partner toward Jelly, but Sabian missed Jelly and went head first to the floor. So then the camera shows this while Jelly is yelling, "Are you all right? Are you all right?" Go back and watch it. The "Are you all right" was from Jelly on television, asking his opponent if he was all right, because he forgot they were on TV. Because he probably wasn't all right to begin with, since an idiot just backdropped him on his head on the concrete, but that's for the referee to fucking ask, or roll over there and fucking do it quietly, you fucking unprofessional twit. Then Miro started bumping for Jelly and Sonny Kiss, their brand new WWE star they stole, their big Bulgarian brute, their goddamn whatever the fuck that they have thought this guy was going to be, is taking bumps all over the building for Jelly and Sonny Kiss. And it went on, and the heels couldn't put these stooges away. And then finally, Miro beat Sonny is there a more boring move possible to choose for this guy to complete the bed shitting that was his national television debut for these idiots than the camel clutch?
Well, that was his finishing maneuver in the WWE.
Well, in that case, no wonder he's gone from the WWE, because that just capped it for me. There's fucking idiots out there bumping for these fucking job guys that look physically, one looks physically worse than anybody on television anywhere, and the other one looks faker. And they go 17 minutes, actually, I wrote down. The first 17 minutes of the show is putting this guy, Miro, in the middle of a bunch of fucking underneath comedy outlaw talent and having him either get hurt, almost get hurt, definitely get lost, look like shit as far as a wrestler, and ineffectual in the fans' eyes because he couldn't beat these two stooges. What the fuck? And then the most boring move in the history of wrestling to cap off his debut. What'd you think of it?
Really bad way to debut Miro. I thought he looked good. I thought he looked impressive. He's a beast, like you said. But this match, and this match going as long as it did, was very problematic. Not good, incredibly sloppy. You pointed out a lot of those things. Every Jelly match, there's a point where he tries to be more athletic than he actually is. He's not an athlete. He's not someone who has an athletic bone in his body. Now, you don't need that, obviously, nowadays to be in professional wrestling. You could just go in the ring and put on a show. But every match of his, that gets to a point where he starts doing stuff, and he can't do it. He's not athletically capable of doing these
but I'll go this far. There's been some, in the days of the workers, there have been some guys that drew a lot of money in this business without being athletic at all, but they could make people believe they were. They worked like they were. This ain't either. All right.
Horrible tag. I mean, just the worst tag team in professional wrestling right now are these two. Well, and what a waste of Miro. I said it to you. I said it to you for months before he got to AEW that I thought WWE was wasting him. And this guy is a real talent. You have to use him the right way, though.
Well, and apparently he's clueless as to what that is, because here's the thing, Tommaso Ciampa, he knows who the fuck he is. He knows how he needs to be presented. A lot of these guys do not. I think that's why that they've not necessarily because of the bad creative, because of the fact that they didn't give creative any goddamn coherent option. Brody Lee, Miro, all these guys, they come here, they're worse than they fucking started.